Another thing I'll share with you guys though is I have other clients that I'm actually helping right now find a home in Highlands Ranch, and we just went to another part of Highlands Ranch that I had actually never really explored in too much detail, and this subdivision is actually called Backcountry. And what I love so much about Backcountry is it's one of the only subdivisions in Highlands Ranch where a couple things. First, you have gated entrance, so you actually have a security guard that you drive through and say hello and they let you in. So very safe from the standpoint of there's really no random people walking in your neighborhood or getting access to get in and potentially rob a home or do any funny business. So that's a nice perk of Backcountry. But they also have their own additional clubhouse called the Sundial House. So if you're in Backcountry, you take the road up and it just keeps winding and winding. When you get to the very top, you have some massive homes. In fact, some of the homes up there are $4 to $6 million. Our head coach of the Denver Nuggets, actually, I saw recently, he purchased a home in this area last year. Gorgeous, mansions, 360-degree views, everything you can see up there from the entire western slope, all of the mountains. You can even catch a couple 14,000-foot peaks off in the distance, as well as look in the other direction. You can see Denver Tech Center and just see the entire landscape of Denver from the top of this Backcountry subdivision. And then the Sundial House that I mentioned has its own private pool, has its own rec center, has its awesome fitness room that looks out over all this open space. They've got a huge outdoor fire pit that has a lot of fun activities throughout the year. And it's just an example of, even within a big area like Highlands Ranch, there's all these different pockets that all have unique features and unique aspects to them. So if you've maybe looked at Highlands Ranch in the past, maybe you just didn't really like it. Earlier I talked about pros and cons. One of the cons that some of my clients, kind of bring up, and even something that I thought about earlier on in my life about Highlands Ranch, is the stereotype of cookie cutter, meaning that every home kind of looks the same. And in fact, that is not true once you actually go a little bit more in depth and start really exploring Highlands Ranch. These little areas like, for example, Backcountry, every home looks very custom and different from one another, and you just definitely do not have that impression like a cookie cutter master plan community. So definitely give it another chance if you have maybe passed over Highlands Ranch before and maybe thought it wasn't for you. It might be worth taking a second look.